Hello, welcome to the Monday morning update. I'm Pete, you're my valued viewers, and hopefully you're going to stick around and watch what I've got to show you. Last week's sales, what's going out this morning, which is mostly last week's sales as well, and then one thing from yesterday, and then I'll show you what I've been buying or not. It was rained out at the car boot. I did a bit of charity shopping. Right, let's get cracking straight into it. So, last week's sales, I'll move a little bit over and put them here, yeah? Which side do I normally leave them? That side, right. Olympus 1GB XD card. As you saw the thumbnail of my last video, they do sell fast, the XD cards. I can't keep them in stock. Loads of SD cards. I put a few up for sale at all times. XD cards, as soon as you put them up, they're sold. So that went £23.95 plus £1 for making it into first class, signed for. Then there was a genuine Canon charging, well, it wasn't a charger as such. You put charger in because people ask for charger. It was a battery charger. £11.99. PS2 guitar, not the ones I showed you previously, the one that I showed you last week that I'd picked up. I think it might be last week, it might have been a fortnight ago, that I'd picked up, and I was pairing it with a PS2 game to test it and to list it as a bundle. That went for £36. Nice. 1 gig Lexar memory stick for Sony's. That came out of a Sony camera I bought a fortnight ago, and it went for £6.99. I think the camera cost me £2. Oh no, sorry. It cost me 50p. It was part of a £1 bundle from the guy with the green van from the car boot clearance. A power supply that I got Easter weekend. There you go. It's called Hizu Sanhus Sawa 02600. £9.99. A vintage console 8mm film viewer and editor working suite. It was working, it had power on. 1970s, Japan made, very nice looking. There's a picture. Talking about SD cards I've always got in stock, that Jessup's one that I thought might go for like more but didn't, went for £4.70 for a 2 gig one. Always, you know, the 1 and 2 gig single SDs, not XD, not HC, the single speed HDs, they do really well for things like We Homebrew older cameras. There you go. There's a tip. Put that in the title. This one didn't have that in the title because I put Jessups in. I put Jessups in was because somebody had sold a Jessups one, the same as mine, for a tenner. As it is, I don't know how they managed it because I got £4.70. A kickboxing game for the PS1 called Kickboxing Knockout. £9.79. That included delivery. I charged £3.50 delivery so that I could send it in a box nicely. I'm a bit sick of that, quite honestly. I would rather charge £4.20 delivery for a proper delivery rate, but eBay maximises the delivery in video games. I would have happily had higher rate postage and smaller rate sale, so that it was realistic for the buyer. Somebody put in my feedbacks this week that they thought that my postage was a bit high. They'd put very good item, happy to pay, postage was a bit high. So I just had to reply, and I really want people to realise that the postage has gone up and that costs go up for us. Costs do go up. So I replied, £3.49 P&P plus eBay fees is £4.19. I charged you £4.20. These prices are fixed in reality, not, well, I didn't put fantasy at the end, but I just put, you know, I'd like to charge you less, but the prices are fixed in reality. So there you go. Right, it wasn't a very good week up to now. That was up to Friday morning. Sorry, up to Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon, sales happens here. I didn't send anything out on Saturday. I was clearing the garage. I was doing other things. You know, it was quite a nice day. Sunday, it was going to rain. It didn't look like it was going to rain badly, but it did. We'll come to that in a minute. So, the stuff that's going out today, let me see. That's orders awaiting dispatch. We'll do it in the order it was bought. This guy, Godzilla, nice guy, or at least he's a hero. Yeah, right. He's a hero of the kaiju Japanese films. If you're selling NECA items, especially the Japanese ones, well, only the Japanese ones really, that's a really good thing to put in your title. Kaiju. It's K-A-I-J-U, and it's, yeah, monster movies basically, in Japanese obviously. And that went for £14 plus £4.20 postage, £18.20. And I think he cost me £2 in the local charity shop. A clear green PS1 card. There you go. It's a PS1 card, memory card. 8 slots or 16 slots on them of memory. Very small memory. It might even be 1 megabyte. I'm not certain what the actual memory is. But that went for £6.99. Cost me 20 pence a couple of weeks ago. Tchaikovsky, Sleeping Beauty. And I've just dropped the other memory cards on the floor. This is 2 tapes and a programme. Andrei Previn and the London Symphony Orchestra. This cost me, well, I bought a bag full of these and other tapes, blanks and taped on tapes and videotapes and some tape reels for £2.25, no, £2.50. The charity shop, I was in the charity shop and they were putting them, she was saying, look, I'm sorry, we just can't accept them because we don't accept any of this recorded media anymore. And the woman was like, well, I'll only have to go outside and put them in the bin. And I walked over and I said, look, I'll buy them off you, love, and I'll give the money to the charity shop as a donation. So I think I paid £2.50 in the end. I was going to pay like £2.20 or something, but it's what I had in my changes pocket. But seeing as I bought it through the till, they just put it down as a donation. I put £2.50 on it. So that is the third or fourth one I sold from them. Some of them were blank tapes. That's the first one of these doubles that I've sold. That was £6.95 plus postage, so £9.15. In fact, it's gone internationally. So I don't know how come it came to £9.15. It's £2.20 postage. It must go as a large letter, and it's going to Pozpadai Airport, Unit 15, Union Road, Oldbury, West Midlands. So that's obviously going to be shipped internationally from there. Air direct, and there's some letters afterwards. So yeah, fair enough. £9.15 for that. Can't be bad. And so then there's a Tommy Tippy electric baby bottle warmer. I'll show you that. If you can't really see it, there's a picture there. I'll put a picture there. I'll show you that. And that's what's underneath the bubble wrap. I don't know whether it'll come through on the camera properly or not. So there you go. Next, the memory cards I've just thrown on the floor. Bear with me. Right. Another SD card. This is a SanDisk Ultra 2. And I put on this one card for camera, 3DS, Wii, 2 gig. And 2 gig is the maximum size that you can absolutely safely use for homebrew on the Wii. You can get away with an 8 gig card, but it has to be make sure that it's not anything higher than SD. And then this one. Oh, by the way, that's sold for $5.99. And this one is another Olympus XD picture card. Does it focus up? If I get my face out, it might focus on it. It's very difficult to get to see whether it's focused and look at to see whether it's focused or not. Because if I look to the side at the screen, it sees my face and it focuses on my face. That card was $23.95, and it's the last one I had out of the 3, and this is one of the ones I got. It's not the one from the other camera, it's one I got from a camera on the same week. This came out the side of a camera I bought the same week. So that's the end of the XDs, except I bought something this week. So then there's BT. This one I'll definitely show you a picture, because you're never going to see what's under there because of the label. The BT cordless landline phone set. It's actually a trio, but there's only the one handset, so sold it as a one-piece item. So fair enough. It's got a remote, not a remote, answering machine built in, and it also blocks nuisance calls. So that went for $18.19. So $13.99 plus $4.20. I'm having to get used to the fact that if I put a 99 in, I'm getting a 19 at the end because the $4.20. Next, G-Tech Air Ram, another one I'll put a picture up for. There you go. This is the dustbin assembly. It's the dust pan, the lid for the dust pan, and the filter assembly between it with the filters in. And I got $19.95 for that. So when you see those old G-Tech Air Rams sitting by somebody's stall in a car boot sale, and it's got no battery in it, or it's got no power supply in it, or it looks really, really battered, buy it anyway, because I bought the one this came out of for £3. Might have been £3.50. And I also sold the power supply and the battery. I have the carcass in my house, and quite honestly I could take it apart and sell the motor, but taking them apart is a ball ache. So that's going down the tip with a lot of the other stuff I sorted out this weekend. That's going this week. Give me a bit more space. Lots of PS2 games, or rather it's a PS2 game, but the title is lots of PS2 games because it's a multi-listing now, of course. I've taken virtually all my single sales off. It's a multi-listing, and I got $4.95 for this one. It's Dino Thunder Power Rangers. I've sold 2 of these in the last 6 months. Easy wrapping as well. REM Monster on tape for £4. That's basically paid for its slots in the shop and a few pence extra, eBay fees and the postage. Doesn't leave much else, does it? Talking about slots in shops, my last sale of the weekend, or rather my first sale of this week, was Sunday, and the only sale of Sunday, because let's face it, you've seen the stuff I've been selling, it's all cheap. It's all, there's not much of it either. There's none of this $36.99, £55, £70, £90. There's none of that. And the reason being is, well, one, it's like middle of the month and coming towards the end of the month, but not yet being paid yet. And also, what can you say at the moment? People are struggling. Anyway, I have one more sale, and I'm glad I got rid of these. This was on auction. All meat ties. all the Marks and Spencer's new tyres I've been selling for the last 3 years. I decided to bundle them all up, put them on auction. Started last Sunday, sold this Sunday. I got 18.76 plus £8 postage. I charged £8 postage. It's not going to be £8. I made a profit on the postage. Yeah, there's, let me see, 28 tyres there. They're all brand new, and a lot of them are carded up. Probably, I think there's 17 brand new with tags carded, with hangers and everything. The others, mostly have got hangers, but a lot of them don't have all the Marks and Spencer's tags. They came from a house clearance at auction, and I bought them about 3 years ago, and they've been taking slots in the shop. Now that's fine when you've got 600 or 700 things listed, but when you're in the 200 to 250 things listed, it's time to get rid. Because otherwise they're costing you 10 pence per item. Although only half of them were listed. 10 pence per item, so £2 a month basically to list these. Anyway, I got £18 back for the 28. Now I originally got over 80 at this auction, and I think the first 2 or 3 made me a profit. And they've been listed, as I said, for about 3 years. It's time to move on. Rationalise, you know? Anyway, they're going to get another bag to make sure they don't get any damping, and then go in a box to protect them all. I'd sold 5 in the last year out of that lot, and they were the nicer ones. And it came to something like £38 for the 5 of them. Some of them only sold for £6 odd, and they were the nicer ones. And some of them are really, really nice, like £15, £19 retail. But in Marks and Spencer's, they're not like, you know, the really sought after brands. Even though they're all silk ties, so, you know. Anyway, that's the end of the sales. Oh, let me see. All sales. I'll tell you what it adds up to. Once it's I hate that about the dispatch page. It's not so much the dispatch page as all the orders pages happen to do this. You have to load the whole page and let it load before you can choose what period you want. So you've got to let it load, say 90 days worth of orders, and then you can choose last week, which is what I'm about to do, and it'll tell me what I made in sales last week. And they're not brilliant. It is a good job I did that car boot, not like yesterday, but the previous Sunday, and added £127 into my income, because my income, top line income, was 210. 210 last week. All these bits and the other bits, because there was no large items. So this week, listing the large items, I'm going to be aiming for £40 plus. And all the incidental stuff's just going to have to wait. It's as simple as that. I want the large items on. And talking about that, I have found a few things. You can't really see here, but I've been rearranging the bit of floor where I had a lot of stuff dumped, and digging through it and finding larger items to sell. So one of the things I found this week, which I don't ever remember selling or returning or anything, is this. It's let's get that out of the way. So it's upside down. This is a Pro Sound 200 power amplifier for PA. It's got 2 inputs, 2 outputs, but they look like they're mono. Do not obstruct air vents, so it's to be rack mounted, and you've only got, you know, things like that, and a power thing. When you turn it on, this little blue light turns on. I had it going, and I hooked it up to a subwoofer I had, so it didn't get much sound coming out of it, but it does hum and make noise, so I know it's working. I just don't know how good the quality is. I'm going to sell it as though it was good quality and go from there. So these are going for 40 to 75 pounds, and I'd forgotten all about it. I'm afraid it's quite easy to do in this area. So I'm aiming for, like I said, the 40 to plus items this week. I'm going to dig through. Oh, and other things that I found was Xbox 360 Slim, and then 2 more. This one says no boot up, and this one doesn't say. Oh, it does. It says tested and working, no memory. Well, I can fix that. I'll put a hard drive into it. I've got a load of hard drives that are plugged into the old non-working ones that I've got stacked up. Still there, mostly since last Christmas. Yeah, I think I will be rationalising that pile actually as I rearrange this garage and get some more shelving up here so that I can take the stuff from the upstairs, bring it down here. How many upstairs is going is pretty well actually. It's about 2/3 gone. I'm still working on the rest. Rearranging so that I can take a load of other stuff to the tip. Talking about that, I did take some on Saturday, and I bought some things from the tip shop while I was there, which is nice. I'll show you those. I went right around the tip shop and they've got a bit wise. A lot of stuff's retail. I mean, not charity shop price, retail. And it's way above what you would really be able to buy for to sell on eBay. Is the only way I can describe it. For instance, there was some video games in there, and there was one that sells for between 90 and 100, and they had it up for 70. And we're not talking consoles, we're talking the actual game itself. And they had some figures from video games, and they were like £25 each. Which you go to a charity shop and they've got figures from video games. They're likely to be £10, £15, maybe £5, maybe £3. It depends on the condition. Well, the condition weren't great on these, you know. But they've all become a lot more expensive, and let's face it, how many charity shops are going out of business? Lots. How many charity shops put their prices up? Lots. Do you think it might be a bit connected, do you think? Anyway, I got this lot and I made a deal because I cleared out the camera cabinet. So I'll do the big one first, and then we'll do the little ones. So this one, when I say big, I didn't mean value. I meant it's the size. So it says Rayovac, but it's not Rayovac. It's a nice bag though that comes from it. It's a little bit dirty, needs a clean. It's what it is it had £5 on it, and it's a Sharp view cam. You hold the recorder. Let's just put the bag down. You hold the recorder, and you can, I don't know why, but I think it's so that you can, this has got the screen on the back, so you can have it upwards high like that, film down and still see the screen. And you can spin it round for selfies, so you can film there and your selfie comes out there. All your recording buttons and playing buttons, because it's a videotape camcorder. Well, they all wear that. It's old. It's not charging. The battery's not holding a charge. It's a £5. Now I said to him, what happens if they don't work? Because they said they haven't tested any of them. He said they can bring them back. It has a battery port, and it's got a battery in, and there's the old battery, but it's not charging. Now, I could buy a battery. They're only 15 to 18 to 20 pounds, but I don't think I will. And the reason is, this was a £5. They're selling for £10 to £15 spares and repairs, just for the camera. Bear that in mind. There's also a power supply, which I have checked, and I have plugged it into here, and it lights it up and makes it work, but it won't work with the battery on its own. So, you know. Anyway, this will sell for £15. And then, to top it off, there's an AV cable in one of the pockets and brand new tape in the other. Now these are selling for £8 delivered. So just that, brand new, sealed, get on my money back. All the rest is gravy, so possibly £30, possibly £20 profit on those items there. That was a £5. Next, I've written this down because the labels keep falling off. £5. This is a Pentax. Get myself out of the way. Pentax Zoom 70R. Can you see that? I should have put the batteries back in it. Where are they? I've just been testing it. Film testing it. So you can put that down in your listing. I've already listed this actually. So that one goes down that way. That one goes in that way. And there's a little thing where it turns on. There's a little thing there. That's to close the batteries up. And if you turn it on from there, you can zoom it in and out like that. And I could probably get it to flash if I press the button. But I don't think the video camera would catch it. So I'm going to turn it away. So this cost me a £5 as well. I've listed it for $39.99 plus postage on top. And then I'm open to offers. I mean, let's face it, if I get £30 for it and it costs a £5 plus postage on top, I'll be a happy chappy. Yeah. So that's nice. This one. Look, you may recognise that. This leather case is very nice, it's soft, and it's belt portable thing. There you go. Mew and Olympus, it says there. Understated, little zip pocket on it as well, with a few pages from the manual, which is a bit weird, but nothing else. There you go. But what's inside? Good question. One of these. This is an Olympus Mug 300, 3.2 megapixels. There you go. When you open it up, this is meant to like autofocus. The battery's duff. I have ordered a new battery. Yeah, it's not holding a charge. It won't even charge. It doesn't have a charger with it, but I've got a universal charger which would charge it if it was working. Yeah, very nice, very sought after, and it also has a side hole for XD cards, and if you can see with your eagle eyes, if I focus in, it's got an XD card in it, which is a get rid of my face, XD 128 megabyte. So there's 15 quid's worth if I was to sell the camera separately without a card. But actually what I've done instead is ordered a battery for it, and as soon as the battery comes, I'll know the battery works fine, test the camera. If the camera's working fine, then I'll sell it as a bundle: camera, battery, memory card. I'll probably sell this separately because these are going for £15 on their own. The camera card's going for £15, so I would expect to get 40 maybe. Otherwise I would take the card out, sell the camera with the battery, with the new battery. Yeah, and if the camera doesn't work I can take it back. So hopefully that camera, the battery will last, will turn up in the next couple of days, and then I've got like a fortnight on this. So yeah, not bad. That one was 7, or at least it would have been 7 if I had got a discount. And then there's this one, Sony Cybershot. It's not a Cybershot actually, it's just it had been put in this bag because it's a nice bag. Again, another nice bag. So what's this one? This one's a Sony Micro MV video camcorder, and it's called the Handycam IP5. So it's a DCR IP5. Turns around like that, pulls out like that. Again, another one without a charger. Well, I've ordered a charging cable. So I've spent the money on these, and then I bought a £9 battery and a £7 cable. And you think to yourself, is it worth the effort to spend this money and then spend £16 on top? You're damn right it is. Of course it is. These are, I don't know, £40, £50 more maybe, working. It's got 2 batteries. Don't know whether they're working or not. There's another one in there. It's got a head cleaner tip. Again, this is another one with a weird tip, very small tip. They're called the Sony, I'm not sure whether they're just Sony, but they're called the Micro MV tips. Anyway, that closes like that. I can't eject it because it's not powered up. And yeah, quite nice. It sells spares a repair for more than I bought it for, but this one was the most expensive. This was, where's the label? This was 15, and like I said, I've spent £7 on a cable. So what I can tell you is, if it doesn't work, if the cable comes quickly, I can then, I've ordered it and it's a Chinese jobby, so it might not come within the return time. I can certainly get my money back on it, and I could certainly sell the cable anyway as a charging cable delivered from the UK for the same price as I bought it. So I would probably lose maybe £2 on it, because it's only a cable. It plugs into a USB. So this is the one most up in the air for £15. How much am I going to make on it? So the last UK only one was £44.99. So, and then it jumps to the American ones. Again, 200, 160, 141. It may go to the States, and I don't mind that, but I wouldn't want to start it for less than £45 if it's working. If it's working and the charger works fine and the batteries work fine, with 2 batteries I would want maybe 50, 60 quid. The one that's sold recently, let's have a look. £44.99 plus £3 postage. Wear and tear and a dent to the back of the screen, but tested and working. So yeah, anyway, that was a nice little additional learner. So the whole thing came to £32, but they gave me discount to 28 for the 4 cameras, so it's like 12% or something, I don't know. It's more than 10%, isn't it? Yeah, more than 10%. Yeah, I'm just looking at the pictures for that camera. Yeah, it was shown working with the video on the screen. So yeah, it's exactly the same as this. So yeah, it'd be great to sell it for £45 from the 28. As I say, £10 for the camera and the charger each, to possibly £15 for the charger on the big one. This one 40, this one 40, and this one 45. So yeah, £28 well spent, I think. As I said, there's another £16 spent on top of that, But yeah, I hope to get that money back. And they all are in the sort of range that I need to be listing this week. DVD players. I've got two Humaxes to go on today, which I tested over the weekend. You know, the Freeview recorders, and something else I found. This is interesting. Unfortunately, I haven't got the battery cover, and when I put batteries in, it doesn't do anything. So this is a dead spares and repairs. Is it worth selling electronics spares and repairs? Yeah, definitely. Didn't cost me anything. I found it in my junk pile. I don't know how much I spent on it originally, but if it didn't have the battery cover in anyway, and it is a bit dirty, so I've never cleaned it. I've never tried to list it. I've never tested it before. Probably only paid a couple of quid, maybe even a quid. Don't know. We'll see how much that goes for. It's made by Harmonix, so it's Rock Band. Don't know. We'll see. Right, that's your lot. Get on listing stuff. I'm going to do the same as soon as I have wrapped this lot in front of me. So, thumbs up, please. It would be lovely, because they do great things for the algorithm. Everyone's always going on about the algorithm, but it just reminds other people that other people liked it, and you might like it too. So, yeah, great. If you're not subscribed yet, you could do that as well at the same time.